I'm Noah Ricks, standing here with Coach Rob Senor of the Orange football team. Coach, how are you doing today?
Good, Noah. Thanks for having me.
Okay, you guys went up against a very tough defending state champion squad last week in Perry. So what kind of positives are you going to take from that game last week?
You know, Perry obviously has a great football program, and Coach Gieswich just does an awesome job over there, and that's, was a litmus test for us. And while we were not even close to being competitive in that game, we've obviously improved a lot, and we will use that during the offseason as we need to still do a lot better to get to that level. Contending for a state championship is something we could do here, but we need to continue to get a lot better. So while I'm proud of the strides we've taken, this will show our kids that hard work can get us there.
Okay, now let's talk about the team right now in terms of the playoff rankings. You guys currently sitting at number 11 in your region rankings. So what is your main focus in hopes of potentially hosting a playoff game this year?
Again, as cliche as it is, we need to go 1-0 this week. Try not to look at that stuff and get caught up in that. It's a big conference game for us. Team we haven't beaten in quite a while, and the playoff thing will take care of itself. We just need to go 1-0 this week.
Now let's talk about the team you're going up against, Hawken. It's a very tough one-loss squad. Their only loss coming to an undefeated Gilmore Academy team. So what do you see in the Hawks that could be a challenge come Thursday?
Yeah, so Hawken is a well-coached team. I've gotten to know Coach Moreno through the years, and he's a very good football coach. So they're going to be well-prepared. They're going to be a disciplined football team, and we need to match our discipline with them. We need to limit the big plays and just get back to playing physical Orange football, which we sort of missed a little bit last week, and not as physical as I would have liked in our homecoming game. We need to be the aggressors in this game.
Now let's talk about the uphill climb ever since you took this job back in 2022. From 0-10 your first year to 5-2, and now you're on the verge of making the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. Now, what have you seen in this program in terms of growth over these past 3 years?
Trust, buy-in, great kids. That's a combination to improve. The kids started to believe in our message, started to trust the process, as they say. We got a little bit better last year, and the kids saw that and knew that this past off season we'd have to do a little bit better, and we did, and it's paying off, and they're starting to see what leads to wins. It was a long road, and we had to take a lot of lumps to get to this point, and we need to not go backwards. We need to continue this uphill trajectory.
Now let's learn more about your history and how you ended up here in Pepper Pike.
Sure. So I've been a high school football coach, since 1999. I started as a volunteer assistant at Dublin Kaufman High School while I was still in college. I moved back to Cleveland. I'm originally from Cleveland, and was a volunteer assistant at Shaker Heights High School in 2001. The next year I was hired onto their staff, and I stayed there for 10 years and really did most of my learning there with unbelievable coaches, coaches that are still great friends to this day. Those guys taught me so much about coaching. From there, I coached 2 years at John Hay and had a couple successful seasons, 2 years at US, and then I became an assistant here. I was an assistant here since 2014 and fell in love with this community, this school. My kids have gone to school here now. I live in the community, and when Coach Beckham, the previous coach to me, stepped away, I was blessed with getting this job, and it's just the thrill of a lifetime being the head coach here.
Now let's talk about how you necessarily drew attached to the community of Pepper Pike in general.
The people, the staff, the facilities, and again, for me, being a family guy, having my kids in the school district really helped me attach to this school district, and it's just, like I said, a dream to be able to coach and now teach in the same district and have my kids in this district. Again, I was lucky enough to get hired as a full-time teacher at Brady Middle School last year. So again, I'm the lucky one, and it's just been unbelievable, and I look forward to creating more great memories with this community.
Now, we do have a fun question for you, Coach. Now, what is kind of like your hangout spot to go to? Maybe like after practice or after a game here in Pepper Pike?
My couch. You know, I'm a homebody. You know, I hang out with the assistant coaches on Friday nights after games. You know, a lot of times they'll just come over to my house and we'll hang out and have some food. But I live in the community, so that's why I like to hang out in the community.
All right, so now you as a coach, there are a ton of responsibilities, including like watching over the Little League and junior high programs here in the school district. Now, what focus have you took in terms of like getting those guys ready for the varsity level?
You know, it's a great question, and that's been a big part of what I've tried to do, and I can see the fruits of that labor. You know, when I got this job, making sure our 5th and 6th grade rookie tackle team was well taken care of. I have an unbelievable staff at the middle school, which is our 7th and 8th grade team. Those guys are 7-0 now. A lot of them played in that 5th and 6th grade rookie tackle, so they're growing and getting coached great. That way, by the time they get to the high school, they know our expectations, they know our system, and you know, there's a lot of jobs as a head football coach at a high school, but making sure you get good people around. That's how you win. Like Woody Hayes said, you win with people, and you know, being a Buckeye myself and learning a lot about Coach Hayes, there's just so much truth to that, and surrounding our program with great people is just so important.
Now, Coach, last question. We here at YSN have the ability to give you the chance to give a few shout-outs to family, friends here in the community.
Sure. So, first of all, here in the community, of course, my wife, Nicole, who supports me to the end, my 3 kids, Cameron, Peyton, and Lily, always support me. It's hard having a dad who is a football coach, but they give me that leeway and understanding, and they're awesome. And then, you know, I got some YSN watchers every week. My brother Darren watches every week on YSN, and my cousin Ryan in Phoenix watches every week on YSN. So we appreciate what you guys do. They're huge fans to stay connected. So just know there's people across the country also watching on YSN.
I'm Noah Rick standing here with Coach Rob Senor of the Orange football team.